Match point is now upon us. Royal Never Give Up, helmed by the Mad Dog, the uncrowned king, are now one Nexus away from getting that spot in Chongqing, going to the finals, and even one step further from going to MSI. Will Uzi be able to claim his first and final crown?
Look, that's a few steps away, man. I gotta hold up. But if he's playing like this, then perhaps. I'll give you that. If he's playing like this consistently, then that will be a yes.
Yes.
We have our question answered, though. It's Duke that's on screen. So we were talking about this previously before this game. You know, if Invictus Gaming lose, if it's match point, do you suddenly have the Shy texting, you know, I'm on my way from the hospital, guys, you know, ripping out the IV, coming onto the stage, the smoke goes behind him. And no, it's going to be Duke all the way through.
Invictus Gaming now suddenly find themselves with their backs against the wall against Royal Never Give Up as we get closer to this pick and ban for game number 4. These teams know each other at this point. These are two long, storied organizations. These teams have been rivals for quite some time, meeting in playoffs multiple times over the past few years. But this one seems to count so much more, considering how these teams entered into playoffs this split.
Oh my goodness. I just take a look at that sign. That's literally RNG going door to door. WE's door, that's bloody.
MLXG, the Reaper.
Yep, Snake's door, that's awful. And then they go up against the next one. I wonder if IG is going to be able to weather the storm.
It's also the fact of the historic run, as Dom was just kind of hinting at. You know, not only facing Invictus Gaming multiple times, but the fact that they started in round 1. They are now a single game away from their ticket to Chengdu in the finals, and a single game and a best-of-5 away from their MSI ticket, possibly. So the full miracle Cinderella run from the very beginning of the gauntlet to the end.
Well, the weight is getting more and more heavy. We're just about ready to get into game 4. Picks and bans are coming at you in just a second. Clement and Fish are going to be taking us through the call. Gentlemen, this is so hype. Please, I hope this game delivers. Cast is yours.
Game 4, it's currently match point for RNG at the moment, 2-1 against Invictus Gaming. And Invictus Gaming were the favorites coming into this match. RNG, even in the game they lost, have looked like they've had the upper hand every step of the way.
And this time, they finally ban away the Kaisa. They agree with the Redditors and the tier listers and basically say, you know what, we can't deal with this champion. We're just going to take it out. And they go with the strong bottom lane, Varus and Kog'Maw, pretty much indomitable in the bot lane. You're always going to have an advantage there. Against the Kog, in the LPL, that matchup is 80-20 weighted towards the Varus.
Varus will be paired up with Tom Kench, one of Baolan's signature picks in the bottom lane. We have Braum in the bottom lane for Ming once more, but Trundle was let through. That was the swap. They decide to let MXG have his chance to play the champion once again, and IG this time lock in Zac as their jungler of choice.
So they do have strong initiation to go up against the Kog'Maw. It's not about the laning phase that Kog'Maw is weak, it's about the playmaking potential. Varus has too many skills to lock the Kog'Maw down, and with the Zac and with the Tahm Kench potential for an Abyssal Void, that's going to be a very difficult lane for the Uzi to actually survive in. The only solace they do have is they're still going to have that strong early game coming out from MLXG.
Let's see what MLXG has up his sleeve, because every single match he's been creative in the way he's played, especially during level 1. We've seen what he could do with Trundle, especially very early in the jungle. Heading into the second ban phase again, targeting Rookie's champion pool. All-round is taken away. They don't want him to get his hands on the signature champion, and that's what they need to do when IG need a clutch just to pull it to game 5. Sion as well as Ornn taken away.
Game 2 and Game 3, I think RNG found the code to crack IG. They're not going to let Rookie move anywhere on the map. They're banning out the Taliyah, they're banning out the Orianna so they can potentially take the Ryze themselves, and they're just going to limit how much IG can actually roam around on the map.
That's another Gnar pick coming out for Duke. We saw him play it in the first couple of matches. This time, he was banned in the last match. This time he has his chance to play it once more in the top lane, prioritizing his pick against Let Me. Final pick for IG is going to be the mid lane pick for Rookie, saving his for last. Last time round, it was the Anivia that he was throwing out into the mid lane. He's played his second most played champion in solo queue at the moment is Anivia, so it makes sense, but he didn't see the playstyle work. RNG shut it down, taking away every single blue buff. And RNG are going to complete their composition for game 4. Camille into the top lane, as well as Galio in the mid lane for Xiao.
This is really spicy. You can do a lot of things with Trundle and Camille. She can hookshot onto the pillar and create a stun, even when she's in the middle of the lane. That's why Trundle is so scary as a champion. Remember game 1, game 2, I said She can do so many combos. Camille, Swain, and Kaisa in particular. They're running it all the way.
We've also seen the Camille Galio pick used to pick off side lanes. You lock them down with the Hextech ultimatum, and then you get the Galio ultimate on top to secure the 2-on-1 fight. However, Rookie responds and picks up the Emperor of Shurima into the mid lane, a pick that is constantly punished in the LPL if picked blind, unlike most other regions. IG get the counter pick in mid lane as the last pick and decide it's safe to send the Emperor in.
Yep, this is pretty much IG shoring up their mid to late game. It's really hard to lose a team fight with someone like Azir when you're up 7k. Cassiopeia, you see what happened with her. MLXG could just lock her into a prison and then EQ out. But not the same thing can happen with Azir. Azir can Shurima shuffle his way back into the team fight. So this has been a steady team fight victory condition pick for IG.
And if you're watching the player cams, it's been completely flipped here. RNG, everyone's happy. They're laughing. They've got high hopes. They still have a game in hand. They drop this, they can take it to game 5, try and go to distance. IG, it's match point. And match point in 3 series where even game 1 could have gone RNG's way. It was a base race. That's the only win that IG have picked up in the series so far.
It has to be such a shock to IG. They've only lost 5 games the entirety of 2018. But in this series alone, they're already staring at a 2-game deficit so far.
They also lost their 100% win rate when they pick up first turret. It was very high when they picked up first blood, but it wasn't 100%. And now turret's been taken down as well. They picked up first turret in that last match. But RNG found the comeback, and they've sent us to game 4. IG need to be sweating now because they were heavy favorites coming into the Specified series. Both our analysts predicted that this would go their way.
Actually, we did see Frostcurrent pick up
Raz
RNG.
said it would go this way. Frostcurrent thinks this would be 3-2 to RNG.
It's okay, Raz doesn't know what he's saying. Like, he's picked a 0-3 for IG, so...
Yeah, I've been trying to say that for a while, but RNG, they're at match point. Uzi is one step closer to trying to pick up his crown. Let's get on to Summer's Rift for game number 4. You can hear the RNG crowd getting louder and louder. All the fans still in the Hangzhou arena supporting these two teams. IG, they're currently down, but they're not out just yet. They can send this to game 5. They can go the distance and put themselves in the finals. But something has to change because it seems like RNG have read them like a book, even in the games they've lost.
This is very dangerous. RNG have a strong level 1 composition, and they're willing to use it to push in and get vision. Remember, the Zac versus Trundle matchup does not fare very well for the Zac. The Zac, you cannot jump away with the E-Sync shot if you've been stopped by the pillar. So I think MLXG is going to constantly look for invades.
This has been a crucial champion for RNG. Trundle being picked up. Even in game 1, it was allowed Uzi to get an upper hand in a lane matchup that looked like it was going to go IG's favor. And again, heading into this match, it's going to be a Rejuve beat start for Trundle. No leash coming out from his bottom lane, allowing the bottom lane to get early access to the wave. Nick starts on the top side of the map, so IG's bottom lane will be able to react in kind and get the exact same matchup. Let me toss him out, taking hook shot at level 1. Goes for a duel against Duke, gets some damage, but not too much.
Yep, doesn't pick up any of the additional CS either. If we talk about the 2 composition, RNG once again is going to go for mobility and initiation. That's what has made them so successful. They're not a very good static team. They don't necessarily formulate the correct answers sometimes to compositions, but they've always had this dynamic with them where they can pop out of nowhere and collapse onto your team without a moment's notice. And for Invictus Gaming, they're still going with something that's more slow and steady, a more measured team composition. If this goes late, IG's team fighting potential is so much higher than RNG.
But we've said and we've seen in this series, RNG, they've been struggling to close out these matches where they get ahead. Even in game 1 where they won, it was a struggle for them to win that game. This is a team whose stat shows that when they win matches, they are over 9,000 gold up. That's their final score. And yes, it might look like that's great for a team when they're able to get such a large gold lead and snowball a victory. But RNG being their highest gold lead, or their average gold lead, is 2,000 to 3,000 gold when they win games. They can close out these matches, and IG need to be careful because that's what's been happening in games 2 and 3.
So Duke does spot out MLXG here. He's just going to take one camp away from him. It's pretty smart on the other side. You could just see Ming on the bottom side placing a ward to prevent the same Krug steal coming out from a Ning.
Ming is actually rotating towards top side of that. MLXG clears away the Krug camp, spotted out as you mentioned by Duke. But most importantly, Duke was not in lane this entire time. He was trying to contest this. He is under level against Let Me, and a teleport's being thrown top lane. Rookie's looking to rotate as well. They've collapsed and allowed Duke to be stuck underneath this turret, but good rotations coming out from IG. Rookie disappears in the fog of war. You even have Ning rotating towards top side of the map, walk through the lane to make sure that dive to Duke could not take place.
So there was no minion dematerializer on Galio. That's just purely his pushing potential. But once Xiaohu saw that Zac was already there, he still continued the teleport because he was teleporting from base, but he decided to walk away immediately. So they were looking for a 3-1 dive there, thinking that Ning was probably elsewhere on the map. When that didn't work, they did call off the shots.
The play fizzles out, and RNG decide not to push for it, but Xiaohu just uppercut it in. Ning's going to try and jump in. Doesn't get the knockup. Oh. Neither does he connect with the rubber hands. Xiaohu makes a mistake, pushes forward, and Ning can't punish it.
Yeah, that's a bit of a wasted opportunity right there. For RNG's composition, if you're looking at the top lane, usually Gnar can win this matchup out solo. You do need jungle interference to swing that into Letme's favor.
There already has been jungle interference. Yes, there hasn't been a kill. Hasn't been summoners being taken away. But he has been put down the top side of the map. Meanwhile, LMXG as well as Ning are going to brawl over Raptors. Taking quite a bit of damage here, Ning, but Rookie's going to slide over towards the Raptor pit, and LMXG is a little bit too deep in here. Ning does have his passive available. LMXG jumps over, takes the blast cone back, but good jump from Ning. Allows him to pick up first blood.
Great anticipation from Ning right there, and this is the problem you get with MLXG. You know, sometimes he's great. Sometimes he's going to run the show. Other times he's going to make a show out of himself. So, unfortunate right there, and good roam from Rookie.
Close but punished by Invictus Gaming. Rookie's able to be proactive and stop that from happening. He moves back into mid lane, already has a nice advantage against Xiaohu. He's yet to go back to base as well on Nazir. Xiaohu went back and tried to teleport top side of the map. Picked up a Doran's ring as well as a Dark Seal and his refillable potion. Top side of the map, Let Me, as you said, not doing too well against this matchup into Gnar. Had some jungle interference to allow it to swing slightly back to his favor. But Duke is doing a good job of keeping control underneath turret. Still falling behind in CS though.
And I'm a bit worried about the bot lane, because so far we really haven't seen the Kog'Maw actually be punished. Now, this isn't completely unusual, but we typically do see a bit of a CS lead for the Varus.
Uzi's been trading quite effectively against this Kog'Maw. A small CS lead, but Ming was able to go back to base, teleport back in. And Ming is also waiting behind in the bottom lane in case they do go for a skirmish. Should be time for JackeyLove to head back to base with IG pushing in this aggressively.
They do have to be very careful. Xiaohu has already hit level 6. And judging by the control ward that he has placed on the top side, he is looking to go top lane. That's a very guaranteed kill with the Camille Hextech ultimatum.
That's probably where the focus is going to be, because we've seen this combo coming out from RNG before. Camille was one of the most banned champions in the LPL. Actually is the most banned champion, but Xiaohu looking for a solo kill against Rookie. Does he get it? The little tiger picks up the solo kill. Rookie does respond underneath his turret.
And that was so unexpected. Rookie actually loses a bit of the minion wave, but it doesn't go all the way in. Oh, wow, that's a bit of a tragedy for Xiaohu right there. He thought his Q would actually push the minion wave in a little bit, but still denies it anyway.
So going to be pushing back in his favor. Does go for the one-on-one play. Rookie has the safety of his turret and turns it back around. But still, that's a statement being made by RNG's mid laner. Gets back to base, picks up a couple of items for himself.
People often forget, but Xiaohu actually has the second most solo kills in the mid lane. He is only behind Knight in terms of that statistic. He might play very quiet for most of the season, but when he sees those opportunities, he's not afraid to go in.
No, he's not. He picked up the kill there. As you mentioned, the wave did bounce back in his favor. And he pulls back the CS deficit slightly, now sitting at 50 to 55 CS. Sorcery Brews were completed by Rookie. He's going to be able to roam a little bit easier. There's a blasting one and Null Magic Mantle were picked up by Xiaohu. Duke's going to be using his teleport to get back into the top lane. Ninja Tabi was his first item being picked up against Let Me, who already used his teleport to get towards top side map with a Tiamat pickup. And a lot of eyes are on this bottom lane. Uzi has picked up Kog'Maw, massive hyper carry. Xiaohu's now trying to rotate towards top side map. We mentioned this combo before, and it is a deadly one. Duke just used teleport, so to take him down would be a massive play. Uzi gets knocked down by Jenna Corruption in the bottom lane. Uzi just hit level 6 as well. Balon finally saving Jacula, but he was looking for an all-in there.
This is a bit unfortunate. So Invictus Gaming were looking to try and scare away RNG, basically. What they didn't know was MLXG already had the red buff warding. They already knew that Ning was in the top side. So they weren't scared of that at all. They were willing to fight it through. And also great play from Ming, instantly blocking the first charge of Chains of Corruption.
He's in the mid lane. Ning is looking for another gank. Xiaohu charging forward, but Rookie jumps in, gets the knockback. Ning does get the knock up as well, and they stop the uppercut coming through for Xiaohu. Rookie is out of mana. Xiaohu is low on hit points, and Ning is still chasing through. Another kill being picked up by IG.
Great timing usage of the summoner spells being off from Xiaohu, and also coming out from the vision disadvantage of RNG right there. We've seen Ning in the top side already clearing out the scuttle and just dropping control wards there, creating that zone of darkness where he can operate from.
And then actually tried to rotate in towards the mid lane, couldn't stop the recall coming out from Rookie. He's now hit about 11 CS, but the bottom lane RNG are playing in the bush. They have not been spotted out by Vision yet. Jackie Love and Balon don't take the bait, so just push out the wave. Uzi reclaims the CS in the bottom lane. How is she now looking to try and make his way towards top of the map? This was the lane that we thought we'd see Xiaohu try and make an impact towards. He's rotating up as well, so this could be a 3-on-1 dive. Ning is not on this side of the map. And Alexi's going to jump in first. Duke does get the double bounce away. He's going to go Mega in a second. Has Flash available to stay alive. But the gank from RNG fizzles out. Alexi uses his ultimate. They just push Duke away from the turret once again, trying to bully this man, but he's standing firm in the top lane.
Yeah, that's a really good awareness from Duke right there. Holds on to his flash as well. And you can see Xiaohu, he thought about committing to the play, but then said, nah, not really. We're just going to get some tower damage down here and try to get Let Me ahead in this matchup. Even if it's not a kill, if we can keep Duke down, that's so much pressure.
And they are keeping Let Me ahead. Duke playing well, though. He knows that he can be just the facilitator for his team, and he's happy to just survive in this top lane matchup. MLXG not tanky at all in this trundle. Went for Tiamat first, means IG go for a skirmish. Teleport's coming to the top side of the map. Duke didn't get his boomerang back, and Galio's now going to try and jump in too. Ming has joined this fight with teleport of his own. Rookie knocking back Xiaohu. The taunt doesn't connect. Duke is about to go Mega, and there are a lot of walls to bounce. And now ultimate around. Xiaohu, the last man standing. Get into the wall, Galio. You're stuck with me. IG, get another skirmish.
Great play from Duke right there, dodging a lot of the skill shots and keeping himself alive. Also a Rookie with the double knock-up with the Sand Soldiers, able to keep RNG back. A lot of things going wrong there and just being punished for those crucial cooldowns, not transferring into kills.
That was IG not having the support in this fight as well. Braum teleported in, but they just take down MLXG so low to start the fight.
Yeah, MLXG should not have contested for that ward right there. They didn't know where Ning was, and Ning just walked up to him and basically killed him. He didn't have Subjugate anymore. Great play from Rookie as well, keeping everyone back. And look at RNG. They still want to go for this, but the damage from Rookie, it's already taken form.
Xiaohu didn't get that taunt. On top of that, we already mentioned, Trundle is not a tank at this stage. He rushed Tiamat, didn't complete his jungle item, whereas Ning is beefy, does a lot of damage. He was able to assist in picking up the first kill. IG now 7-1 on the scoreboard.
And look at
3,500 gold up.
3-0-3. That's a great start for him. This is not a good matchup for the Zac in the jungle, but MLXG, time and time again, overstepping his boundaries and causing RNG to really commit to some bad fights.
And that's the morale boost that IG needed. Your substitute of Duke's playing in this important series to try and send IG to the finals. He's able to hold his own in the top lane against Let Me, being ganked constantly by MLXG. Xiaohu trying to cheat towards top side of the map. He hasn't died yet. He's 1-0-3, knows that he can be the facilitator for his team. Ning is having a great game on Zac. Rookie, we saw him during picks and bans. He was serious. The entire series, he was laughing. He was joking with his team. He was happy. That's the first time we've seen a smile in this series. He's now 3-1-3 on Azir, looking really strong. And RNG really now, all eyes on Uzi. He has his Rage Blade on Kog'Maw. He's the hyper carry in the late game. Can he scale this one back?
One more gank attempt on from the Zac. Not going to find anything here either. But yeah, I agree with you. Uzi is the ticking time bomb of this game. He's going to dominate the late game team fight with the amount of range that he actually has. So, you know, IG, they could play towards the top side, get a lot of kills, shut down Let Me. But at the end of the day, they still have to go through Uzi.
Because this is going to be a Braum protecting Uzi. You're going to have Trundle building supportive items with a Galio ultimate and Taunt keeping people interrupted. On top of that, Camille locking people down in a zone. There are a lot of tools to protect Uzi. And yes, the early game focus from RNG has been towards top side of the map with the Ammo Shield, Let Me, and Xiaohu combo. It hasn't panned out for them. Now they have to rely on that late game insurance of the Mad Dog, who can taste moving into the finals and does not want to be put down by a rookie again in Game 5.
And they're constantly looking for those plays into the mid lane. We've seen Ming multiple times just going into the lane, walking there and trying to scare people away from that. So they know that they're losing control over mid and they're trying to fight it back because you're never going to use Galio correctly if you can't have mid control.
He's being harassed under this turret by Rookie. Picked up Cleanse into this matchup so he can get away from the taunt if it connects from Xiaohu. Now it's Invictus Gaming. They throw Duke a bone. They decide to help out their top laner.
Duke has been stellar this entire game. He's dodged every single gank thrown his way. He's actually outplayed RNG's top laner and jungle multiple times, and this is his reward. He does get that first tower for himself.
And we said the Shy, he's the flashy player. He's the one with the 20 solo kills in the LPL. Given the similar situation, he might have taken someone down with him during those dives, but Duke, he just needs to be the facilitator, needs to be the role player for the team. And IG, it seems like they're adapting to that playstyle a lot better in this series as it progresses.
Yep, it doesn't matter how good you are as long as you're serviceable. that's don't take that as a motto for life, but that's kind of how you need to think about players in League of Legends. If they can do their job, that's enough.
RNG going to try and take every small objective they can. IG picked up the first turret, but I'll actually make sure he secures an Elemental Dragon for his team. Mountain Dragon falls. Next for the Swan is going to be another Mountain. But it's the waning game now for RNG. 2 games of this series already, they've been in this position, behind IG through the laning phase. Both times they were able to force team fights against the flow, against the goal difference that IG rack up for themselves. Once was successful in a game-winning victory, but every single time we saw RNG force a fight in Game 1, the fight went in their favor. So now they're trying to do the same thing heading into Game 4, but I'm curious to see how they're going to attack that, because again, the composition has changed quite drastically.
Yeah. There's a lot less damage on anyone else aside from Uzi. Like, Uzi is the main focus point of this composition. They say if you have a Kog'Maw, you're playing a Protect the Kog'Maw composition. And this is what's happening this game. He's not going to have a lot of support from the other members on the team. It's going to be about them 5 moving in unison and trying to catch someone out from IG, trying to instantly kill that person. But the initiation, like the timing, has to be very well met up with Uzi.
Well, IG going to look towards the mid lane once again. Ning is charging in, goes for the jump against Xiaohu. Taunt connects. Rubber Hands are going to connect as well, but no damage comes through against Xiaohu. IG just threatening the mid lane once again. Everyone from RNG is rotating towards this mid lane though. They're looking to try and counter this push from Invictus Game.
And this is hilarious. This is basically Ning just telling Xiaohu that your Galio pick is worthless. Like, I'm not going to let you leave your lane at any time soon. So they've completely pushed in the mid lane. They've done it in such a brazen way, and then they're able to rotate their members elsewhere to create pressure.
And IG even used this pressure to take away blue buff on the top side of the map. Duke has a massive minion wave built up. He's 2 levels ahead of Let Me. Let's keep track of this man for this series. Game 1, 140 CS over to tie. And now in Game 4, he's 2 levels above Let Me in a matchup where MLXG and Xiaohu threw a lot of focus. He is carrying his weight in this match.
Oh, definitely. And the great thing is that, oh, but there's a fight coming out here from Xiao.
They've caught out. Xiaohu, Rookie uses his ultimate, pushes him back, but he moves towards bottom side of the map where his 80 carrying support is waiting for him. Jackie Love and Balon rotated over to assist Rookie in that fight. They knock Xiaohu away from this mid lane. It allows 5 members of IG to rotate towards middle of the map, take down another structure for themselves.
And they can still siege to the next turret. This is going to be a big turning point if RNG can throw this off, or if they're going to die to the counter initiation.
Flank's coming out from MLXG. He's right behind the team. Ning is waiting on top of a ward, so they know that he's there. Shurima turret gets built by Rookie, and they take down the mid lane in a turret. Ning jumps in. Zach are not going to be able to bounce Uzi back, but locks him down, and Duke smacks the puppy into the wall. Galio tries to jump into the match, gets a nice 3-man taunt, but IG, they take her down the star of the team. They're pushing for another kill on the Xiaohu, forcing him to flash away, denying the flank from MLXG.
And Uzi had no chance to even flash. The CC chain was so perfect from IG that Kog'Maw died on the spot. This is the problem with RNG's composition. Uzi has to be there for the fight, and that makes him a target. He doesn't have enough damage on the rest of the members.
No damage on IG, you lock him down. Taking mid lane in a turret. They push for some chip damage on the inhibitor turret. Doesn't mean too much. They picked up a sizable gold lead for themselves.
That was the crucial moment of the game, and this is going to unlock Baron plays for Invictus Gaming. RNG, they're going to have to throw bodies into those chokes. Let's watch that once more. Just the perfect initiation from Ning. I actually felt like Kog'Maw could have flashed that. Uzi had a chance, didn't really have the reaction time, and then the chain of corruptions falling in from Jackie Love was his death sentence.
For the caliber of a player Uzi is, it's inexcusable because he knew that Zach was jumping in. There was a ward that spotted out the jungler coming out from Invictus Gaming. Not able to react to it well. He gets taken down. RNG now fighting against a deficit against IG. Rift Tail is going to be the next target for IG, and a good timing too, because Baron's going to be spawning in a minute.
Now, I've actually seen Uzi do this before, but sometimes he expects his teammates to do hero plays. Like, the Zac can actually be knocked out of mid-air, so he's like, hey, Xiaohu, why didn't you stop him? Or maybe Ming, why didn't you ult him, or something like that? Because sometimes Uzi does look for those hero plays from himself and tells his teammates to do those very extensive micro plays.
But it doesn't work for RNG. They don't find the hero outplay. But as a really good counter, LXG had a big flank. That could have been the fight that RNG looked for, and that's how they found their way back into matches in this series. Flanks from MLXG and Xiaohu, looking for those big fights. Cut off by Rookie. Good use of the Azir passive. Puts a turret behind Invictus Gaming so that he can't go for the flank without taking a ton of damage to start the fight.
And this is still a long ways off before Uzi can really become the mad dog that we want him to be. There's no Zeke's convergence on Trundle yet, and he's only at 1.5 items. I would say he really needs 3 items to even contest in these team fights. So there's pretty much not going to be much action for RNG, and it's all about can they hold on to the Baron for the next couple of minutes.
No protective items coming out from Ming yet either to buff up Uzi's Kog'Maw, and Uzi again. Even though he's not a Kaiser, he's gone towards a very early QSS, valuing the safety that the item gives him. That's going to put his damage behind Jackie Love's curve. So Varus, once again, his most played champion in the league. And already has his Gwinsu's Rage Blade as well as Hurricane complete. IG now have their eyes set on the Elemental Dragon. Second Mountain Dragon is going to spawn. They've got a 7,500 gold lead to work with.
It's really hard to see how IG can actually falter this game. They're in such a strong position. I feel like this game is the strongest they've been the entire series, even compared to Game 3. Like, this is a massive advantage.
Ning's finally going to use Rift Herald. It was spotted out by a control ward that was placed down by RNG earlier. And crucially, trying to use it in the mid lane to break mid lane inhibitor. RNG needs to react to this. Let Me did shove in a wave top side of the map, and is now going to recall and join the team. Rookie puts down the Emperor's turret. The charge comes out from Rift Herald. Gets some good damage on this inhibitor, but it's not going to go down just yet. Ning's looking to try and see if he can jump in. Was on top of a ward, but it was swept out and controlled by the control ward. They push away Ming. Low in health is Braum. And slowly clear out these wards. Ning is still looking for the initiation. Jackie Love is constantly looking to see if he can jump in and take this turret down. Uzi gets a couple of auto attacks off. And RNG muster a defense for now, but this entire time,
Go on
Duke
to
is
Rookie.
pushed by Rookie, being locked down by Letme. Emperor pushes him away. Xiaohu tries to jump in, but Baolan's kept his carry safe. Now can IG turn this one around? They've already been able to take down Zac though. RNG are looking for this fight. Uzi's been left untouched, turning, flashing forward. Once Rookie is forced to flash away himself. Duke's in Mega now, but he can't quite find the fight. And again, RNG repel a team fight against a gold deficit.
How does this keep happening? IG are up by 7,000 gold, but RNG are still able to catch him off guard. Zac was there for the entire time. He was trying to hold for a fight right there, and they're going straight for Baron.
Hail Mary play coming out. Uzi is on Cogwall. Baron does melt pretty quickly. Letme's going to join the fight as well. This is a
Not
4-on-5. And Rookie is not here just yet. They choose to try and burst it down. Duke gets taken down to half health. Balan going to take some damage from his body. Still stepping up, but he's the only person from RNG stepping up at the moment. Baron, 2,000 hit points. Duke, one-on-one attack for being stunned. Doesn't get stunned, take it down. Mig gets it. Let me in trouble though. Taken out by Baron. Xiaohu does get a taunt to Rookie. Saved by Balan once again. Jackie Love is slow. He falls. A kill being picked up by Uzi. Takes him down as well. The Mad Dog is ready. The Mad Dog comes out clutch. RNG find a team fight.
That was another fight that RNG took, down 7,000 gold with a Baron raining down at them. They're somehow able to come out ahead. Jackie Love with the crucial chains of corruption, unable to find Uzi. On the other hand, with Xiaohu almost falling down with his last dying breath, he flashes over the wall and taunts everyone into submission.
Disconnects from RNG here though. Uzi steps up and only Ming and Em actually decide to join him, and half-heartedly of that. Let me dies to Baron as Xiaohu's forced to flash away.
Ming actually plays this fight beautifully. He finishes off Duke on the side wave, and then he lands another crucial Winter's Bite onto Jackie Love that slows him right there. When Jackie Love comes back, he gets stunned and gets devoured by Uzi.
Teamfight is one from RNG. They don't get the Baron buff for themselves, but they should be happy with that play. Last coming out from Xiaohu there. They seemed like they misplayed the Baron slightly, but they still get the team fight for themselves. That's the first team fight they pick up against the Flow, but they're still behind Invictus Gaming by about 6,000 gold. They didn't get any objectives for their troubles.
I have to say, but that was a huge morale play. I could guarantee you what Xiaohu was saying right there. I could read his lips. He was saying, come on, brothers, do we have to make this game this hard?
But now Uzi is unlocked. He's 3-1-2. He's got more Malmortius complete. Sorry, not more Malmortius, Blade the Ruin King complete. Look at IG's roster. You've got Baolan and Duke and Ning as the main tanks. None of them have resistances. Uzi's going to shred through the health that these tanks have picked up so far.
Yep, and this is a smart play from IG. They don't want to go face-checking into that brushes again. They're going to set up with the Siege where they can have the Azir Tower behind them. This is the smart play. This is the safer way to approach. But Ning going in immediately.
Jumps in, tries to lock down Uzi, will deliver him back, but he's being protected by his team. Cutting this one back out, he's still alive. Xiaohu gets that first kill. They slam onto the front line of IG. They will be locked down by the chains of corruption that came out from Jackie Love, but a forced fight from Invictus Gaming. RNG get another pick.
And this is the problem with Invictus Gaming. We've never seen them dominate 5v5 team fights. Right there, that's their main disconnect. Their front line and their back line are not very well synced. And even though there was no flash from Uzi, he did have the QSS. He didn't even need to use it. And he also had Galio protecting him. So overall, that was a bizarre play from Ning.
Galio and Brom. Xiaohu can protect himself as well. Rod of Age is complete with Merc Threads being picked up. Zonia's Hourglass is his second item. IG, they keep looking for these fights. Ning seems like he's having really high highs, but also really low lows in this entire series. His initiation so far in this match haven't been that great. RNG now try to start Baron again. Xiaohu on top of the ward, but in flanking position. Let me tries to dive in. Exhaust being used. RNG still focusing on the Baron. Let me very low. Ming forced to try and defend him. Rookie creates a distance, and Duke is in a lot of trouble. Forced to bounce away.
That was pretty much RNG's front line fumbling the play completely, but Uzi able to save them from that scenario. With two of his Bio-Arcane barrages able to push Duke and the entirety of IG away. Now, this is not 5 people fighting against RNG. This is the world fighting against Uzi.
He's trying his hardest, but is his hardest enough? Because at the moment, he's putting on a show. He was caught out in one of the fights that IG started, but since then he's bounced back.
Oh, no, Rookie.
No, don't walk any further forward. Locked down. Emperor's ultimate comes out. Cleanse being used. Shurima Shuffle gets him back to safety. Almost caught out by RNG there.
And this is RNG's territory. They've been in those high-pressure situations before. IG, they've not found international success. This is still a very rookie team. Jackie Love, first split playing as well. I actually think they're kind of bending to the pressure. They're not expecting these unorthodox plays from RNG.
Again, how IG in closing out the games, it hasn't been clean. The only game they closed out cleanly was Game 2, where they had a 12,000 gold lead at 20 minutes. This is a team that finishes with massive gold leads during the regular split, and they use those to destroy teams and pick up decisive victories. The only game they've lost is their opening match in the LPL against this team of RNG. And RNG are one step away from heading into the grand finals. Yes, the gold is in IG's favor. Yes, they've got 2 elemental dragons for themselves, and they look like the stronger team right now. But every fight that RNG pick has been going their way. And that's not just this series. Every fight in this entire best of 5 has been going their way. And here's the combo. Camille Galio into the bottom lane. Juice going to try and survive this. Tom Ketch is going to be rotating down to the bottom lane. Ning joins them as well. They save the top laner from Invictus Gaming. But just barely. No summon spells were forced.
That was good positioning from IG's side. They sent 3-man to the bottom, and instantly their 2 carries move into the Baron just to make it harder for RNG to then sweep up all the vision. Overall, though, that is still a good play from RNG. They do get Baron control, they do get Scuttle, but Uzi is stuck here.
He's been taking a bit of damage. Change the corruptions coming out from Jackie Love. Both bottom laners flash away. Teleports coming through for Invictus Gaming. Rookie's going to try and collapse. Duke tries to jump in. Good pillar. Connects. Stops him from doing so. Ning wants to restart this fight, but blue buff is what IG will settle for.
And it does give IG a possible opportunity to start that Baron.
They're going to do just that. Baron's being started. RNG are looking to try and collapse. Letme's joining the fight. Has teleport available, but is already halfway there. RNG collapse. 2,000 hit points. Jumps in. Talk comes out. Michelle hits low. Smite doesn't go, but Rookie picks it up. Everyone, she's in the back line of the fight. Jackie Love's being untouched. So is Uzi. Looking to the 280 carries to make the plays. Xiaohu taking the back lines. Rookie jumps in. Uzi gets 3. 1-on-1 against Jackie Love. Not going to be enough. 3 kills for the Rookie. And it's a 1-team fight for Invictus Gaming.
Invictus Gaming finally find their big break, but that was so close down to the wire right there. Zach could not get his CC on Uzi. Uzi dished out so much damage, but on the flip side, the front line from RNG also collapsed to the firepower of Jackie Love.
They lose Baron buff as well. IG are at least going to take an inhibitor for this, but what more can they try and get? Duke bounces away, Jackie Love pushes down the turret and is pushing towards this inhibitor.
Yeah, they probably can't take much more. There's only a couple more seconds on the respawn timers for all the carries of RNG, but that was a massive win and a big shift in momentum.
Picking up a 9,000 gold lead off the back of the fight, a much more comfortable lead for Invictus Gaming, and now an even more difficult task for RNG. This was the Baron play that came out. Xiao got a big taunt, but the Baron was already so low.
Yeah, that was a triple taunt coming out from Xiaohu, but doesn't matter. Their members all stuck in that area where, against a Hurricane Varus, he's able to dish out massive loads of damage. And Uzi, he did his absolute best here. That was great orb walking, great kiting. He dodged everything from Ning, but still at the end of the day, without the rest of his team members, he couldn't finish the fight.
They're actually moving towards the bottom lane now. Balnan is going to be moving down with Jackie Love to continue pushing against RNG. An entire fight. Xiao, who got the initiation, got a triple taunt, was in the back lines keeping Rookie occupied, but Rookie ignored him because no one else from RNG was able to collapse with Galio. Now IG pushing for more objectives. Bottom lane inner turret's going to fall. Duke just went mega, spotted out by a ward, and IG 5-member strong. Let's see if they try and force again, because every time they force the fight underneath turrets of RNG, it hasn't gone their way. Uzi at half health, though. A good poke coming out from Jackie Love as well as Rookie.
Yep. You can see how Uzi is keeping his distance. He doesn't have his flash, so he's very afraid of a Zac initiation right here. But on the flip side, IG also have a bit of trouble actually sieging the tower. You know, Varus, 575 attack range. It's going to have a difficult time going up there and not being hit by all the skill shots from RNG. They are taking it slow.
Slowly collapsing in. Uzi taking some damage once again. Banner of Command, cannon minions going to chip away at this turret. A few more auto attacks and it's going to fall. Ning decides going to threaten with the elastic slingshot. Xiaohu waiting with the taunt in case he jumps in to cancel it. This turret's going to fall. Use of the Banner of Command is going to be enough. RNG also forced back towards their nexus to try and defend the base. IG have broken the bottom lane. They're going to take another inhibitor for themselves.
This theoretically should be an easy fight for Invictus Gaming, but it has not felt this way this entire series. They're up by 11k gold, facing down a team with with only one inhibitor left. It should be an easy close for them, but there's so much tension right now.
12,000 gold lead for Invictus Gaming. Only one inhibitor turret left standing. A couple of the members head back to base and use the gold that they just acquired. Jackie Love now at 5 items. Mercurial Scimitar complete. It's again the crit build coming out for Varus. Cogmore still sitting at 4.5 items. Hurricane should be the next pick coming out from Uzi, but we'll have to see what he decides to pick up later on. Zeke's is complete. Not going to be going on to MLXG instead. Picked up by Ming in the bottom lane of Braum. That's the only supportive item that the team has picked up to protect Uzi. No Knight's Vow, no Ardent Sensor being picked up, nor a Locker of Command.
Everything is going to come down to how Uzi can position in these team fights. He is his team's sole damage dealer, but there's so many threats coming out from IG. Chains of Corruption, the Zac Ultimate, the Shurima Shuffle as well. I just don't see how Uzi can possibly survive a team fight of this magnitude with all eyes on him.
He's going to try. He's got the final turret to defend. No Baron buff available for IG. But again, 11,000 gold lead should be enough to try and pull off one of these fights. Stopwatch being picked up by Uzi, trying to mitigate some of the dire potential that could come out from IG.
IG just need to be patient here. They do have 2 inhibitors down that will do the work for them. They don't need to force initiations like they tried mid.
Ning is constantly threatening, has the elastic slingshot up. Banner of Command minion used to push him, but no Baron available. Jackie Love says, let's go. Pulls the trigger, MLXG is so low. They take down the jungler first. Xiaohu's going to be the next target. Forced to use Zhonya's, but Duke tries to slam Uzi. Flashes away. It doesn't matter though. Uzi is the only member left to deal damage. A rookie sweeps him to Jackie Love. Forced to use the stopwatch. He goes stasis for a while, but the last member for RNG falls. IG fight back. It looked like it could go RNG's way, but they stand firm. They push towards the base. Ladies and gentlemen, IG are going to send us to game number 5 against RNG.
Roll the silver scrapes, because here IG comes. They're not willing to bow their head to someone like Uzi, to the Mad Dog, the Tyrant himself. They're saying we're going to keep our fighting chance. If we go to a calm and logical standpoint, there's no reason why we should be losing this game. We have so many tools to dive into that backline and take away Uzi. RNG, they took a bet on him, and the bet did not pay off. They were way too tunneled onto him.
Flashbacks coming back for Uzi now as well, as he's sent to game 5 against another rookie in playoffs. Yes, it was finals last time round, but Jackie Love could deny him another crown. Heading into game 5, IG this time able to secure a game and using their playstyle that they're known for.
A lot of early game plans going wrong for RNG. The Trundle not doing anything. The Camille also not working well as well. And IG's late game composition kicking in when it needed to. The Azir was a lockdown pick for them, and I think RNG need to take that away. That prevents Miracle team fights.
Well, there's the counter pick that came out from Rookie there. Again, we've said time and time again, a blind pick Azir can be and will be punished in the LPL, but Rookie saved it for last, got that counter pick and played phenomenally in the mid lane. Duke as well, the facilitator we mentioned, was being targeted by Xiaohu, was being targeted by MLXG, and Let Me was being as aggressive as possible. Did not let it phase him. Did not allow himself to get ganked and taken down. Was that facilitator and took all the pressure away from the rest of the map.
Duke played magnificently. You almost forget that IG is not playing without their second best player in the Shy. They're actually subbing in Duke, someone who we had a lot of question marks with, and he's been able to make it work, showing that 2016 World Champion form.
MVP performance coming out from Rookie there as well. The MVP for 2018 Spring Split. Playing this one incredibly well. He's looking to try and make sure IG can secure their spot into finals. Hasn't been as dominant as a lot of people predicted it to be, but they have been able to at least come back and fight to game number 5. We're going to send it back to the analyst desk to break it down a little bit further.
Thank you so much, guys. And game 5 is here. We have made it. Silver Scrapes going the distance. 11 weeks worth of progress. And I love how just in that brief moment when we were getting a glimpse into the players' room, you can see clearly how these teams revolve around each other. In the middle of the RNG room is Uzi. Elbows on his knees, focused and ready to go to game 5, to go the distance. On the other side, it's Rookie sitting in the middle of his team, but he's leaned back. He knows that he's got the advantage. He knows he's got the carry style with that Azir.
Look, it's all about that momentum.
Yeah.
Because they were feeling themselves. They were looking good after their own victory. But obviously, if you take a defeat like that, you could have taken the series just off that victory alone. You have to take a step back, analyze it, just reset mentally, and that's what they're doing right now.
Remind me, Raz, who predicted the 3-2 RNG victory?
I believe it was Rusty. If
Take it away,
memory
Dom.
serves.
Oh, well, that's rude.
Okay, so again, we'll come back to predictions a little bit later because this is
Later,
something that is
mate.
actually
We got
very
one more
important.
game left.
Look, we've got time. We've got time to fill here. We actually need to talk about how this game broke down. No, I got you. We got to talk about how this game ended up actually happening because it was not a clear-cut win for either of these teams. I think the only clear-cut game we've had in this entire series was Game 2, where RNG had that ridiculous snowball.
Yeah, because once again, IG were focused on the early games. It was the Varus, it was the Azir. They had push in every lane. So it seems to be this entire series about Invictus Gaming valuing the early game and valuing the vision control and the setup they have around Baron objective. And then RNG saying, no, we'll team fight you anyway.
Yeah.
This draft really came down to two critical picks for me. It was the Tahm Kench and it was the Azir. I spoke about Azir earlier on in the series. I just think especially when you get to pick it last, which Invictus Gaming have had red side every single time this series, that it means that you aren't counted out by the Zoe, and it means that you have perma-stall. If you're on blue side, you can hold the blue side jungle. If you're on red side, you can hold the red side Raptor ramp. There's nothing people can do, and basically your only goal in the Azir matchup is just to make sure that your tower doesn't fall. And the Tahm Kench was the rotation. RNG did not respect the early rotation from Tahm Kench, picking up his team once the bottom lane tower fell, and then rotating themselves mid. So Invictus Gaming were able to trade 2 top-tier towers and the mid-tier tower with virtually 0 response from RNG. So I think those 2 picks especially were hypercritical.
And if I'm looking towards the top side of RNG's composition, really early on what they were trying to do with the Trundle, Galio, and the Camille, they wanted to be able to get the dive in the top side.
Hey, how you going, TP?
Yeah, exactly. And it just didn't happen. It was really good out of Duke early on to get a gauge on that and just back away entirely. It was very difficult for Trundle, MLXG specifically, to ever get an in on this game because early game, he was not able to get any real lasting impact onto his Zac. He found one on the Raptors, but then Zac was able to get away. In fact, killed Trundle because Trundle tried to overextend there. So MLXG was frustrated that game. And then when he came into team fights, Trundle Camille is not a front line. Immediately eviscerated by the Azir and Varus, and so it became a game of can Uzi carry on his own without the protection?
And again, RNG have been successful this series when they have access to the back line, and they didn't have it in this composition. Uzi's on Kog'Maw, he has to go front to back, and especially when you're, again, looking across from an Azir, his ability to punish or deny any access to the back line is so critical. Using the Shurima wall really well, placing up the Sand Soldiers, I just think it's the perfect pick to everything that RNG have want to do with their compositions.
It's funny, too, because he was talking about himself experimenting with the pick in the final weeks of the LPL, and it looks like it's good enough.
Yeah.
Rookie is just phenomenal. There was one time where he was essentially getting hit on the top side of the map with 3 people in there, but he was able to do it perfectly with the timing, getting his ult across, and still getting his Deer or at least his EWQ just on out of there.
We did watch the game. Yeah,
that's true.
It was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah,
when he was in the try book, they said 3 people, and then he dashed out of there.
Yeah.
But I think that being said, though, we do have to go into this a little bit more because what you said, I think, Frosk, right there, really was the theme of the series. The theme of the whole game. That Rookie had the flexibility to start from the back and work his way forward, sort of poking from the far side, where Uzi, clearly trying to carry his pants off, had to go front to back, and he put out some huge work. I think there are multiple fights at Baron that show that. I believe the first one is about 20 minutes in. He baits Invictus Gaming forward, and without summoner spells, proceeds to sidestep everything.
And he would have cleaned up this entire fight had Rookie not kind of thrown himself to the wolves and committed to the Kog'Maw. I believe this is the fight that he goes front to back across. No, it's the next one.
Yeah.
So this was a good one for me. Just the reason why I appreciate this one, it was off of Xiaohu's 3-man taunt, which I really valued. I mean, it's the AP Galio this time. This time of the noon, so we get to see him looking for those outplays. Got a good chunk of damage when they were going on Baron as well, so it's set up for Kog'Maw to be able to clean it up.
It feels like it was so tough for Xiaohu because he was down, I think, 3,000 gold at some point against Rookie, and the most effective thing he could do was charge up his taunt fully, flash into 3 people, taunt them, and then
he's Galio. He's low econ.
Punch the ground.
But that's the thing about the way that RNG are forced to play these fights, because you have the incredibly squishy build of the Triforce Camille, and of course the squishy build of Galio. So if he's going into what is a Varus and Azir that have incredible kite back, especially when Azir sends out his ultimate, then it's so hard. You have to fight in bursts. You legitimately have to work around the small windows of your taunt or off of Camille ulti. Otherwise, your front line evaporates, and you're holding on to Trundle, and hopefully at that point, Kog'Maw would have had enough damage to come out and win the fight.
This is the one that you were talking about, Froskuren. Uzi trying to go front to back, but Rookie back against the wall in the pit is just free autos the entire time until he sees an opening. Then it's on to the Mad Dog.
He literally flies across and knows that he's going to die, but he's just trying to output as much damage as possible onto Uzi, because Uzi actually looked like he was about to clean up that fight.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rookie will take our MVP for that game 4. Of course, that Azir, absolutely massive. And I believe right now we've had 2 Uzi MVPs, 1 Rookie and 1 Ning. So it's starting to look like this mid-bottom volatility is coming to a head.
I mean, ultimately, after this series is said and done, MVP for me for the series would be Uzi if RNG win, and MVP for the series would be Rookie if Invictus Gaming win. Even though Ning got it in the initial win for IG, I just think Rookie has been playing out of his mind this series and keeping IG in it.
And it's primarily in the losses as well. The Cassiopeia loss was still Rookie playing incredibly well. If they would have won
Trying
that
to hard
one,
carry.
exactly, it would have been off of his victory. So we want to see what he can do in the next game, and I want to see if he goes back towards the Azir, because it looked phenomenal in this one.
Yeah, it absolutely was a great game. But that said, ladies and gentlemen, game number 5 is coming at you. I would say go take a break and relax during the 2 minutes, but we've got game 5, so turn up your music. We got Silver Scrapes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.